Howdy. Today's soap is brought to us by RazoRock. This one here has been around a moment. It's a little difficult to find. Donado. Um, it's a lightly scented soap. There was a few of those that they made at that point in time. That's what it looks like there on the inside. But if you're looking for this one, it's going to be kind of tough to find. Hasn't been in production for a while. Started out being 150 milliliters or 5 ounces, depending on what you like to use for measurements. And got the matching aftershave. Scent is along the lines of maybe citrus or fruit, woody type smell, but it is lightly scented. It's not real strong, in other words. So some people, they found that not quite appealing. In other words, needed something a little bit stronger for their nose. Got it whipped up here with this is a RazoRock 400. There we go. It's got a synthetic knot in it, and it's fairly wet. Almost, well, it'll drip here in a moment, but you know, it's fairly wet. It's whipped up pretty easy. It's kind of nice just to use. It's been a while since I've used it, so I thought I might break it out and see how it works out today. How it's aged, I guess you might say. I'm going to be using the IBC shavette. This one here's got a Kai blade in it, pink. This will be the second use on this particular blade. And I think you might be able to see how the blade exposure is working there. This one here, this shavette, is one of those shavettes that utilizes a magnet to help get that blade attached in there real quick for you. Pretty nice setup. Got the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Preshave cube. This one here is the Christmas scent. Weather here is just unreal. I mean, we're just now into March, and of course at the end of February we're getting weather that's up around 70 degrees, about like today. Really nice weather. Supposed to be getting a little bit of rain down towards the end of the week. But it has just been fantastic weather. Tell you what, around here, spring break, I think, is like the third week in March. So if the weather holds out, it's going to be really nice for spring break. I remember one year during spring break, we went to Branson. It started snowing. It didn't snow a whole lot, but anyway, it was not what we had expected or planned for. It was a little chilly. I have mentioned this before with this particular shavette, Irving Barber company, IBC. It comes in different, I guess you might say, flavors. This one here is the chrome model, but the handles come in different colors, and here of late they've used a coating to help give them a different color. So in other words, there's I got some shaving cream on my glasses. There's black and gold, and you can kind of mix those colors together, have offsetting colors. The one that really caught my eye is the one that Jeremy got, and it's a red one. I have a link down below to their website. You can take a look at them. But boy howdy, that red one really does pop. And of course, you know, the black and gold, that contrast in colors looks pretty good too. If you like something with a little bit more color to it. Yeah, there we go. Also, I should mention, this is just kind of one of the things that I do, is off to the side over here, I have a damp cloth that I can use to wipe off the shaving cream. Helps keep my sink water clean. And also, it's probably one of the things that's, depending on how you want to look at it, but I probably got one of the best smelling towels that go in the dirty clothes. So anyway, it was just a thought. But this particular shavette, it takes different blades. It can take the Feather Artist Club style blade, or it can use a DE blade snapped in half, or it can use an injector blade. Sometimes referred to as a mini hair shaper blade. So, in other words, whatever blade that you prefer, more or less, it'll take it for you. Makes it pretty versatile. Also, if you should happen to need a part, something happens, for instance, this little thumb screw, if it should disappear on you, you can order another one. The screws right here at the pivot point, if you need new ones of those, you can order those. In other words, you could rebuild this from scratch if you needed to. Which in some cases, at least how it is right now, I'm not sure about the latest ones, but I know that the ones early on, you can order the different handles. So in other words, you've already got, like, say, like this particular shavette, and let's say you want one that's burgundy, you can order just this handle and swap them in and out if you wanted to do something like that. Makes it pretty nice. I mean, you know, that way you're not ordering the whole thing when you don't really need to order all of it. And if you really want to go deep into it, there is, they also have mats. It's, you know, it's a barber company, so in other words, you know, they got barber mats and all that sort of thing with the different colors and all that. You know, it's, you know, pretty cool. It's not every day you get to see a website that offer up so much that they got. For me, this is a pretty easy one to use, with those two screws that are on each side of the pivot point. So in other words, you can tighten it up or loosen it to your liking, however you might like it. Not very many shavettes will do that for you. Usually that pivot point is a pin that's like a straight razor, it's set, and if it gets loose, then you end up having to do a lot of work just to tighten it back up. If it being floppy is troublesome for you. Now this scent, in my opinion, as it goes for scent strength, it is pretty mild. It's not a real strong scent strength. Some thought might be that maybe after you lathered it up or warmed it up or something of the sort, maybe the scent might come out a little bit more. Per my nose, if it did, it wasn't enough. But the same complaint was made about Alsapone. You know, some folks thought the scent was a little bit too light, but it was intended to be that way. Matter of fact, both of these, Alsapone and this one here, is, like I say, you may have a little bit of trouble finding it. I think it was more or less marketed towards those folks that don't particularly want or need a scent that's very strong, which I understand, you know, because there's also the thought of, you know, trying to whip one up that doesn't irritate somebody's skin because they got maybe a certain amount of essential oil or whatever. You know, the more you put in there, the more of a risk you might run to somebody's skin getting irritated. I really hadn't had that kind of trouble, so It's, you know, for me, it's how much is too much, I couldn't even tell you. Because it's been a very long time. I can't, trying to think, I can't think of one right offhand where it went to the point where I had to wash off the soap or the aftershave. Uh, I can't recall of a time that I had that happen to me, that it was irritating my skin that much. But I have seen some videos that I was, you know, is in a way, I guess you might say, it's kind of shocking, because if you never experience it and you see it in action, where somebody's had such a reaction, where, in other words, their whole face just turns red wherever the aftershave was at. That's it's like, wow. Never had that happen before. So I mean, I know it happens. It's just thought that's got to be tough to have skin like that. Goes back to the scentless formulations that some folks offer. I know it's not exactly popular with a lot of folks that enjoy the scents and whatnot, which, you know, my nose does, but I understand the reasoning behind having one that's scentless. Because most of the artisans, they have their soaps are pH balanced, so in other words, the base is it's not, you know, the word set up where it's going to irritate your skin. It's the scent that's added in most cases that causes the problem. I can't imagine this irritating somebody's skin. It's lightly scented. It's not real strong. Which at the time, I just thought it was my nose. I honestly, I just figured my nose, and the more I got to reading it, is not just this soap, but another one. At least the Alsopone was another one. I think there might be one more, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it might have been. Got one spot right here that's stinging. I think it's had a blemish the other day that I caught with the razor, and it's still trying to heal up. That's the only place that's stinging. These blades are really smooth. As long as I get the angle and pressure right, I'm good to go. But boy, it's just such a nice shave. I enjoy using it. For me, it's easy to use, but now it's all metal, so it's going to have some weight behind it. So if you don't enjoy something that's heavy, I think it might be one of the heaviest shavettes I have. It's not a lightweight one. But I tell you what, that you have to check out the website. Like I say, I'll have it linked down below. Check out that red one, because I mean, that color, it just pops. It looks fantastic. It is hard not to go on to go get it. So in other words, if you're a guy that's interested in this sort of thing, into shavettes, that particular shavette it'll be hard to pass up, unless you just don't like red. I like red. That's what the restrictor looks like, pretty standard. This is one of the, I think, only aftershaves that I have from RazoRock, where the contents, aftershave smells great though. I mean, I can definitely smell it. That the contents, you can tell that turns like there's just a little bit of a separation. See if you can see it on the back side. You need to give it a good shake before you use it, which is kind of typical that, you know, the habit is to give your aftershave a shake anyway. But this one here is the only one I can think of from RazoRock where I noticed where you do have to give it a shake, because the contents kind of sort of separated. It only separates in the way of what is clear and what is cloudy, as opposed to where you can like see the layer of oil going across the top. It's not nothing like that. It's just you can see a little cloudiness difference about halfway through the container. I can actually smell it. That's pretty good for my nose. I had a great shave today. Hope everybody's doing well, enjoying the great weather. Hopefully you're having great weather. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.